Music, please.
Two very talented young men whose mellow and exciting style of rapping has earned them a gold album in only their first try. They are EPMD.
The E double or the PMD, the E double or the PMD.
Stop shaking business.
Trying to answer to the master or the empty rap goddess. No joke on no lyric, sorry to be modest. I knew I was the man with the master plan to make it wiggle and jiggle like gelatin. Just think while I sing and to the bring structure. Don't sleep on the E. You see something might rupture. It don't take time for me to blow your mind. It take a second to wreck it because you're dumb and blind, so just lounge. But you an MC clappers on the circus. EP and B is in town.
Total chaos, no mass confusion. Rhymes so hypnotizing on the course and illusion. Like a magician, he draws a rabbit out of a hat, son. I draw a ball like a 44 Magnum. MC Free, stop up and listen and try to imagine. It's traveling the speed of light, but everything's motion is frightening. Plus the thought you alone, you now enter dimension called the Twilight Zone. You're terrified. Plus you can't bear the thought. You and I one-on-one in the land of the lost. You start to shiver. Then you scream, my friend. You wake up monthly because you're dreaming again. But next time I wanna see you, do not try to business. Keep your mouth so I can jump because I'm strictly business. Because I'm strictly business. Because I'm strictly business. Because I'm strictly business.
This is the rap season, when the East start teasing. Girls around the world, no need to be skeezing. When I roll, I stroll cool, always back and two, just in case. My brother acts a fool, I got the energy to put the girls in the frenzy, put the shock when I rock. Giving up, I'm not stingy, me sure I don't bore when I'm on the dance floor.
Get busy, boy.
Like you never saw before, one flow, good to go. After the show, I'll put your whole boy. You sniff blow. Hell no, have my whole life ahead of me, no time to be sniffing. My parents find out, then they start riffing. So I stay A-OK, cause I'm the E, the R-I-C-K.
Hips look me in my face, then the eyes get weak. Pulse rate descends, heart rate increases. Like beam me up, Scotty. I control your body, I'm as deadly as Zane. When it's time to rock the party, in all due respect, when I say mic check, let a sucker slide once, then I break his neck. So when I say jump, you will bow high because I'm taking no prisoners, so don't play hero and die. You're just a soldier, and I'm a Google Ray. I do not think twice about the entities I slay. So if you want to battle, I highly recommend this bring your dog, mom and dad, because I'm strictly business. Because I'm strictly business.
Hey, yo, you still thinking on that falling forward, bringing the Sandman, sucker, because it's over. My name is Eric Sermon, and I'm back again. I see the head still turning in my so-called friend. They smile on my face, behind my back, they talk trash, mad and stuff, because they don't have cash, like the E double or the PMD. You drive a Corvette, I drive a Samurai Suzuki. I'm a locksmith with the key to fame. Never hide myself, always stay the same. Play a lot because I'm hot like a horse I trot. I ride a track and back. No, I'm not.
I'm the mellow, the fellow, the one that like to say hello to a fly girl that is good to go. With the slow tempo in the orby rhyme flow. Cause when I am in action, there is no time for action or relaxing. Just reacting is subtracting on a sucker MC who mouths keep going yapping and flapping. I lose my cool, then I start slapping and smacking. You wanna roll, then I'll be starts chapping and capping. No time to lounge, I'm packing and strapping. At my point of attack, I show
good? Let's do this sound check. Microphone checker. 1, 2 checker. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I'm going to take a no response as a you can't hear me. Can you hear me? Everybody driving and nobody can send a thumb or a yes, I got you, or yeah, bro, you sound good. Thank you, Sheila Davis, who is at work and can't stay long. I can't stay long either. I can't stay long either today. Now, I know y'all about to say, he always say that. Today is real. It was real them other days. I just sacrificed. I put the show ahead of what I had going on in life. I don't know if I can do that today. I got a serious phone call I have to take today. And it's about some business, some personal business, dealing with my company. So it's important that I take this call today. I'm doing a conference call with some individuals. I may share it one day, but I got this thing about sharing shit before it actually evolves. I generally don't share things unless things are signed, sealed, and delivered. I'm going to be honest with you. I one time did something that was a little suspect. I actually bought some land and I took a picture. Now, I had been looking at this land. Let me roll back a little bit. I bought this land probably a year and 2 months after my interest in the land. Okay. And some of you know what I'm talking about because you followed me through it. But when I actually purchased the land, I took a picture outside of the land with the sign. And I marked out the phone number on the sign. And the reason why I did that is not because I didn't want you to call. I just didn't want the haters to call. There are people that work in certain offices that I know. And you don't want anybody. See, the deal was done. Paperwork was signed. I had already gone to the closing the day before. That night at 7, 8 o'clock at night, we did the closing on the land. The very next day is when I went out and took the photograph. But what I didn't want is I didn't want the phone number to be shown on the sign, but I wanted the other information to be shown because it showed, and it was a little deceptive. It said 100 acres. Well, some of my buddies called me and said, you bought 100 acres over there? I said, no, I didn't. I bought 2 plots, 25 acres per plot. So I actually bought half of the 100 acres. And what I did is I have a 3-year plan to buy the other 50 acres. I have a locked in price. And I have a 3-year, I guess you could say a 3-year window to get the other acres, the other 50 acres of land. What I didn't want people to do was to call the phone number on the sign thinking they were trying to call me. I didn't feel it was cool with the broker for me to post their phone number without permission. And I was really giddy. I was anxious about this particular acquisition. So I kind of did something that's very uncommon for me. And that was I posted a picture prior to thinking it out. The only thing I thought about was, let me take the phone number off because this isn't my phone number. And I don't want to get his perception that the phone number on the sign is for me to contact me. But some of my buddies definitely reached out. Some of them definitely reached out. And you know what they said? I don't know what my friends, let's just say, friends are seasonal. You have some friends in the season of how you grow up. You grow up with them. You have some friends that you acquire when you become a teenager or maybe a young adult. And then you get your real friends. Your real friends come once you get past 35. That's my opinion. Now, I'm not saying if you have a friend since day one and y'all stayed friends. I'm talking about when you acquire a new friend after the age of 35, generally there's no bullshit in that relationship. And if there is, you're probably the bullshit person, because when you're 35 and you get to know somebody new, you generally know what not to associate yourself with. You understand what I'm saying? You generally know not to be dealing with certain type of people unless you are a gossiper and you love gossiping. Then you will attract those same friends and you'll just live that type of life. But if you associate yourself with people that love the type of things that you're interested in and you about your business, those people will gravitate to you after 35. And then you can pick and choose. You can pick and choose what you surround yourself with. And trust me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all can get mad at me all you want, but I only attract myself around. I only put myself in the path of people that think like me and who are trying to move like I'm moving. Now, a few of my friends that I hadn't talked to in ages seen this post on Facebook. I mean, they might every once in a while like something that I do, put the like up sign or something of what I do or say or something. But calling me or reaching out, generally it's because they got something going on that they kind of like, hey, can we do this together? That type of shit. But I got a couple friends that I grew up with. We call them day ones. A couple of them reached out, wanted to know what the hell I was going to do with all that land. And the first thing come to our mind, because of where we from, is you got a weed license, don't you? You about to grow some shit, aren't you? And I'm like, nah, that's not the move. That's not the move. I just understand the power of America is how much dirt you own. I understand that. And there's a lot of people that get it. We have to understand that some of the things that we just never seen as being valuable in this particular country of America, those are the most valuable things. And land is it. Even if it sits dormant, you have it. You're paying taxes on it. It's also a write-off. But what you can do with land is remarkable as far as building your portfolio. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get me a cow. I know y'all laughing because I'm a city slicker. Like, I don't even like a cow. And people like, well, what are you going to do with a cow, Wyatt? I'm like, bro, I'm about to put some livestock on that land. And if you know anything about livestock going on land, you'll know why. I got to find me a baby cow. Anybody got a resource? Anybody know where I could buy a small calf? A small cow? All right, I'm just kidding. I would like to put a couple of chickens and shit. Since y'all all want to give me the prices of eggs, I just lay my own eggs. Let me go buy 5 chickens. I hear they're about $125 for a chick or something like that. So I could spend $500 or $600, get me a little basket of chicks, and lay them over there. Put them in a little, in a weave basket of some sort. I don't know how to farm. It's not for me to farm. Okay, it's for the write-offs. Trust and believe. Just look it up. You don't need me to tell you. Just look it up. All right, I'm gonna go straight into some things. Let me say what's up to some folks. Where my tools at? Here go my tools. Somebody said, oh, Sabrina said I can connect you with some sheep. Well, okay. The only thing, well, yeah, I guess sheep would work. It's live cattle. All right, so let me go to the roll call real fast, and then I'm gonna get right to what I got to get to because I really do have to make some phone calls, tie up a few loose ends on a situation that I've done today, and I want to make some confirmations of what I was doing. I want to kind of solidify that whole situation. So I want to move on real fast. Like I said, we won't be here long. I'm gonna make my points, and I'll take a phone call or two, or entertain some questions or comments, and then we'll call it a day. But let me start with Crystal Hawkins. She says, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, Wyatt and everyone. That's what she said. Angela Kinney's in the building. Miss Pittsburgh said, good evening, everyone. Hi, Mr. Wyatt. Hello to you. Sabrina says, good Tuesday evening, Wyatt Live fam. Jenny's in the building. Jason Dockery, he says, good evening, EPMD fans. Yeah, I like that. Sheila Davis is in the building. She says, good evening, everyone. At work, can't stay long. I did share. Hey, why don't you don't have to like this, but can you share it? Why not? Y'all that lie and say, I shared it I shared it all last week. You know, I made this thing up, not made it up, but I brought it up yesterday about I generally let people lie to me, and I know they lying to me right in my face. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not going to try to convince a liar that you lying. Okay, I don't do that, because if you're willing to lie to me right to my face, you're probably willing to defend it. That's why I'm very limited on how many friends I have after the age of 35. If a MF, excuse my language, if a motherfucker lying at you, still lying past the age of 35, they don't have their shit together yet. That's it. That's our number today, 35. If people are lying past 35 for no apparent reason, or just to still fit in, or still be boasting and brag, you don't need that person in your life. I still know 50-year-olds that still say the same shit that they said in 89. I know some 52-year-olds that still say they got an album coming out next month. I've been waiting to hear they shit for 27 years now. That's real talk. It's real talk. I sung all the backgrounds, and I did I wrote it, produced it, wrote it. You know, when I got a distribution deal, I had a friend tell me the other day he got a massive a production deal, not a production deal, but a distribution deal with Sony. I said, what? He said, yeah, I got a distribution deal with Sony and Amazon, and he brought up Prime. All these companies. I'm like, okay. You say Sony Music Group? Oh yeah. You know, yeah, kind of, yeah, not really Sony. We just use Sony microphones and headsets when we doing our shit. I said, all right, you can stop it. Because if you think about it, all the boxes and shit that come to my house, I got a motherfucking a distribution deal with Amazon and Prime. I got shit coming to my house daily. That's how my wife roll. Like, we got boxes stacked to the ceiling. You might as well say I got a distribution deal with Amazon and Prime too. But you still got dudes 50 years old talking shit about they got a distribution deal for movies. And I don't want to say too much, because some of them still lying to me to this day. And I don't want to bust a bubble, but it's time to get your shit together. We're older now. And I think the reason why people continue to lie is because people just let them. They don't care. They're he's talking shit. We all know somebody, don't we? We all know somebody that's still talking shit since we was yay so high about what they doing. They got an album coming out. All that old shit. I'm tired of it. Leave it. Y'all tell somebody else, man. I've been waiting for your solo album for 32 years now. So if it ain't came out by now, G, it ain't coming. Solo albums and shit. Get out of here. Anyway, where was I at? I was saying hello to some people. Let me finish that up real fast. Sheila Davis, I stopped with her. Sean D, what's going on, Sean D Nutter? And then I got, let's see here. We got Jason Dockery. I think I said hello to him. Valerie Davis, great day, great people. Thank you. AP, Anthony Pross is in the building. McConnell is in the building. I said hi to Sheila Davis. I said hi to Sean Nutter. I said hi to Sabrina. Jenny, I said hello to. Let's see here. Ross Freeman, what's good? Terry Anderson, what's good? Nikki Carter, what's happening with you? Y'all all having a sidebar conversation. I'm curious to know, do y'all talk when we not on the line here? Like when we on live and shit, do y'all like go to DM? Y'all do know y'all can connect on DM without this connection here, right? Because I noticed y'all be having some conversations that's totally different than what we talking about here. Not that I have a problem with it. I'm just curious to know y'all can hit each other's the DMs and shit, right? You don't need Wyatt Live to be your connector. I'm just curious, because I've been reading the comments from the show yesterday, and y'all was talking about some shit like it was way different. It was way different than what we were talking about. I think y'all was talking about Man on the Moon or some shit. I don't know. Just having fun, y'all. Jason Dockery, what's up? Valerie Davis, America is for sale. I keep trying to tell people that. Look, don't get mad at America who know how to buy America. Stop talking about how America then did you wrong. Shit, the same place that did you wrong is for sale. Now, if you need help understanding how to buy it, just ask. Shit, YouTube it. Do something like that. Y'all got to understand something. I'm about to share my age a little bit. I'm 40. Who said something? Listen, let me be honest. Let me just say this to you. Back in our day, when we were little kids, if we were interested in learning anything, it was an adventure. You either had to take your mama word, your grandmama word, your auntie or your uncles, your daddies, stepdaddies, whoever it was you had in your life that influenced you. You had to take their word. Or if they didn't know, you had to take your ass and get on the bus and go to the library or do it at school. But you had to go learn through encyclopedias and checking books out and shit if you really wanted to learn. If you really wanted information, it took a little bit of work to get it. But in today's world, if you don't know something, there's no one you can blame but yourself. There's no one to blame but yourself. Now, I will give that point of view the benefit of the doubt by saying this. You can't know what you don't know what to know. I get that. Who just tripped out on me saying that? Like, this dude is reeling. He reeling and rhyming. No, it's a serious point. You can't have the information of something that you don't know, like you don't know you need to know it. Like, for instance, there's some people that don't understand the importance of owning like a property, like their own home. And I dropped something in Messenger group today, in the Wyatt Live Messenger group. Y'all better join because we be dropping gems over there. It's on the DM. I put an article out that Cincinnati.com put out today about, I think it was, I forgot the name of the group. It's in the DM. It's in our group. And I don't remember exactly. I'm going to try to find it here real fast. What group actually did it? Let me see if I can find it real fast. Yeah, the port. You know, the same company. Wait a minute. The same company that be destroying this group on the radio. The same people that be destroying the port and company and all that shit, that they get these tax abatements and tax money, the redevelopment. Did you know that they invested $14.5 million into homes? Remember when the market crashed, the housing market crashed? And when that happened, a lot of people lost homes. And when that happened, buying groups start buying those properties, single family homes. Okay, this article is in our Messenger group. Well, let me just give you a little bit of information. $14.5 million is what they invested in a bunch of properties in the Cincinnati area, single family homes. And what I discovered is this port bought them away from those investors who were letting the properties driggle, like deplete. They were going away, rotten, just going away. So the port and company bought these properties, 14.5 million, 167 pieces of property in your area. And they're selling them for cost to renters, low-income renters. They are selling you homes. But you can't know to do that if you don't understand the value of what they're selling. You still got to know. They can give you the opportunity of buying one of these properties, but if you don't know the value of having that property, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But here's the thing. It's a 3-year process. It's a 3-year process / program. It's an unbelievable thing. What I don't understand is the same people, the chaos agents that bitch and complain about the Port Authority and having all these things that they can do and blah, blah, blah. Why don't you tell your people about what the port company is doing and reinvesting in the community and being able to sell your folks homes from anywhere from $100,000 to $125,000, remodeled, and tell them about how the program is 3 years long, and in those 3 years, it allows you to get your down payment together, restores your credit, put your credit in a position where you can get a lower interest rate. It's a great program. Why aren't people talking about that? Because a lot of people would rather bitch and complain off of one move and not even give joy or congratulate the bigger moves. That's called misery-loving company to me. When people always want to bitch about the port, bitch of this, bitch that, What about the 14 million they spent, 14.5 million they spent in your area of Cincinnati? Bought all these properties, 167 doors. They bought 167 doors, and they're selling them to low-income renters. It's a 3-year program. I heard no one talk about this. But as soon as you hear about the port and all them buying properties and they buying them for $1 and they making these big power moves, why don't you talk about this? I'd love to buy one for $125,000 or $130,000 and be able to live in it and build equity. I would love to do that. It's a great first-time home. That's a great way of building yourself. Unbelievable. That's a great way to build your portfolio. You don't have to live in it forever. $125,000, $130,000 home is a great first-time buyer's home. You can get you a prime rate because they work on your credit. It's like a 3-year program where you put the money down, you build your credit, and you learn about home ownership. In other words, like maintenances, different insurance companies you can go through. Everybody's scared to buy homes because they think they got to fix everything. Oh, I can't call maintenance. If I buy a house, I can't call the maintenance department. That's bullshit. Yes, you can. Tiffany Daniels is here. She's a real estate agent. Yes, you can. Tiff, if you don't mind, maybe one day you'll come on the show and we'll talk about it. And basically, let's overcome the fear of people not wanting to buy a home. Let's tear down the barricades of people saying, well, I don't want to cut grass, or I don't want to, if a pipe busts, I don't have no way of fixing it. You got to understand, sometimes your rent could equal what your mortgage is. And yeah, okay, all you got to do is get a home warranty. They last year after year. You can buy a 1-year home warranty. You can buy a 3-year, a 5-year. Put it on a payment plan. They allow you to do that. Call your mortgage company and tell them you want to incorporate, with your lender. Say, hey, look, I want to make sure that I have a home warranty on this home for 5 years. Incorporate it in the loan. And you're covered. Incorporate it in there for 10 years. I don't know. Shit. I wouldn't go that far because I don't know if these companies will last that long. I don't know much about home, repair company or those warranty companies. I don't know how long they last. I know I still have one on my home and my deductible is $100. I probably pay somewhere in the realms of maybe $800, $900 a year. And I pay $100 deductible. It's based on the value of your home. And I think I pay somewhere, and actually, I'm sorry about that. I pay about $1,500 a year. That averages out to be about, a little over $100 a month if I do it that way. But that's your phone call if something goes wrong. Whether it's a pipe, even in my home, I have issues. I have problems. I got water heater problem, air conditioning problem, anything. If you have a roofing problem, anything that you can call maintenance for outside of how we used to do it in the law of homes, like you can't call your warranty company and say, I locked myself out. Y'all know maintenance used to come with the main lock in the law of homes and Lincoln courts and shit. They come with that one big ass key that can open every door in law of homes. I used to think, why you got all those keys on, man? And you got one key that opened everybody's house, but you got 52 keys on your ring. Y'all remember the key man used to come through. We used to get locked out all the time. You can't go, you lose your key and all that old shit. You always knew who lost their key because a day or two later, somebody be walking around where we live and their key is pinned to their jacket. You be like, yo, dumbass, you lost your key. And then in the Fay, we used to get locked out. Yeah, you get locked out, some shit, you get locked out, you had to call maintenance. But the move is you always will have protection on your home. Don't be afraid. Fear is the beginning of failure. Because fear will make you not even attempt. I'm afraid of heights. I'm unbelievably afraid of heights. But I took my ass one day to Kings Island up in Cincinnati with my daughters on a Wednesday because we used to back in our days, man. I think we had season passes for Kings Island probably for 10 years in a row because my kids always wanted to go there. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm so afraid of heights, but my kids aren't. That I used to like BS my way through not getting on the roller coasters. But then one day I just went up there on a Wednesday with my kids. I said, let's pack the shit. We going up to Kings Island. We gonna get on some shit. I started out slow. I started out with that little, I forgot the name of it, but it's the one little roller coaster over by the Twin Racer that go all out in the grass and shit. Somebody know what it is. I know somebody know what it is. It got a small little bitty ass hill about as high as this table. That's the only hill on there. And then you go up and you come around and I used to think I was handling business on that one. I was so I don't know, cocky about that one. I'd get off of it and be like, y'all want to go again? That's the only one I'd get off and be like, let's get on it again. No, Daddy, we want to do the vortex. I don't know about that. Shit. I'm doing them motherfucking vortexes. But anyway, that Wednesday, I remember as if it was yesterday. I took my babies up to Kings Island. I said, I ain't going to eat nothing because y'all know it can get bad. It can get very bad that if you eat and don't feel too good on them roller coasters, it can be bad. So I go up. We get on my favorite one. My oldest was like, you want to do that one again, Daddy? I was like, nah, today is my day that we going to tackle. We went up early on a Wednesday during the week so it wouldn't be no lines. So I said, we going to tackle these roller coasters today, baby. I'm fighting my fear. Admitted to my children how I was afraid of heights. They've been knowing that my whole life. But I admitted to them like, hey, today we going to do this. So we left the one that I like and we went right over to the Twin Racer. My daughter was trying to push it. Let's get on the one that go backwards. Adventure Express. There you go. Thanks, Tiffany Daniels. The Adventure Express. I should know the name of that. That was my favorite because it wasn't shit. It was like a damn car on tracks that go up one hill and then it go down and come around the corner real hard and then it go in the cave. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all parents with them little kids know what I'm talking about. Then we went over to the Twin Racer. My daughter wanted to push it and say, Daddy, let's get on the one that go backwards. I wasn't trying to do that. I'm going to get on the red one. I'm getting on the red one. That's the one I can see. If I fall, I can see me falling. When I go up the hill, I can close my eyes. I can do whatever I got to do to make it through this ride. And y'all know the Twin Racer ain't nothing. It's just one hill down and then you come back. It's nothing. Big shit to me. The scariest part of the roller coaster, let me just be honest with you. I can do all the flips. I can go upside down. I can do all that. I can do all of it. My thing is the fear of going up the track and looking at the park and damn near seeing Cincinnati, downtown Cincinnati when you get to the top. I can't do that. I don't know why I feel like I'm on top of the world. I can't do it. So that day I got an opportunity to do that roller coaster. We got off the Twin Racer and then we went over to the, it's not there anymore. We went right over to Vortex. Vortex is not that bad. It's just that high ass hill. Once again, once I get past that hill and coming down and all that, now I can conquer the ride. We left Vortex and we went to the Beast. Now the Beast is the raggediest motherfucker I ever been on in my life. I bumped my knees, my elbows, my hips. I should have got that one on last. I felt like I had just been in an NFL football game after riding the Beast. Why is that ride so damn raggedy? Why? I mean, you'd be like, you go straight, you side to side. I'm like, damn. This guy, I mean, literally, and the cars, you sit in the car, it's really a one-seater that they make two people get in. It's really just for one person. You can't be, I know I'm not shaming fat people or nothing like that. That's not what this is. Realistically, you can't be 225 plus pounds and ride that thing with a partner. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell you can ride the Beast with somebody if you 230 or better. No way. I was cringed up in there and I had a child with me. And I ain't nothing but 185, 190 pounds. Ross Freeman said it's the wood. It probably is. The wood roller coasters are the worst. And they sound like you about to just, like it's about to fall apart. I was asking the whole ride, who built this motherfucker? Who built this shit? Because it was going side to side on me when we was going super fast. And I had never been on a roller coaster that fast in my life. Never. But it was a fun ride. And when I got off, my knees was hurting. I was bruised up. I said, no wonder they call this motherfucker the beast. You get beat the hell up on it. You really do. Anyway, I rode every roller coaster. The only roller coaster that escaped me, the only one that I didn't get on was that one that I think it's still there. It's the one that's right in the middle of the park. It's the highest one I think that go up. It's orange. I think it sounds like a snake's name. I want to say Cobra. I don't know. What is that ride? The orange one in the middle of the park by the water and all that, and it goes straight up and then all that. I don't know. I don't remember the name of it. That's the only one that escaped me. I never got an opportunity to ride that one. I know I wasn't going to be able to do that one because it was way too high. Because I could get up under it and stand up and see how high it truly was. Bro wasn't doing that. Diamondback. Damn, Tiffany Daniels must look. Y'all know who got kids and be in them parks. Tiffany didn't name the whole. She got the map in her house right now, looking at it. Like, yeah, the one on the water right there. Yeah, that's the Diamondback. Now she got kids. That's how she know. She probably got season passes just like me. She says that's the best one. That's the best one to get me out of the park for the day. That's the only one I wouldn't do. That Diamondback was a beast. It's just too high. It's not that it's fast. It's not too fast. It's not any of that. It's too high. And it's no higher. It is a little bit higher than the other ones, but not enough. Technically, it's not high and higher. It's not so high that I wouldn't ride it. The problem is where they positioned Diamondback in the park. You didn't mess around. All the other roller coasters is out in the grass. You can't get all up under them and look up at them and I'll be all up under them and shit. You can't do that. Matter of fact, let me just tell you this. The Diamondback is so crazy positioned where it is that they have to put a net under the loop where it loops. They got to put a net over where people walk because shit be falling out of people's pockets and shit. Yeah, quarters and dimes and nickels and wallets and cell phones. All that shit be falling out of people's pockets and it could fall down and hit people because people can walk up under this ride. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't get on a ride looking at people and I certainly can't look up at it before I get on it. That scares the shit out of me. It really does. That's the heights. That's the psychological thing. But I overcame my fear of heights with all the other rides. The other one, and I'll say this and I'm going to end it, I promise. I ended up with a new roller coaster ride that was my favorite. And that was one that I meant, let's get back on it again. And that's the Flight of Fear. I could ride the Flight of Fear all day at Kings Island, no problems. You know why? Because y'all know that's a real fast one. You walk in the spaceship, right? You walk in the line, the lines are all long. You walk in the line and you wait and you walk up the steps into a spaceship. And I'm like, this is the shit. And it's indoors. Oh, I can do this one. I can do this one. That's when I stuck my chest out to my children. This is this shit. And the reason why I can do this one is because I don't mind the fast. I don't mind fast. It can be as fast. Look, I can handle light speed. You can call me whatever. It's the Flight of Fear is what it's called. You can call me Top Gun. I can handle the speed of the roller coaster. But the advantage that I had of riding that one was when you sit down, they go a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and it take off so fast. That scared people. Me, I'm like, yes, that's what I like is that fast stuff. Now, being scared of heights, this ride was nothing for me. Let me tell you, I had two advantages. One, it was indoors. Two, no lights on in the building. You ride in it completely dark. I've never seen the floor. I ain't scared because I can't see how high I am, but I can see just a little bit ahead of me. But you can't see the floor. You can't see how high you are. You can't see none of that. I can ride this motherfucker all day. But then they had this one little thing. They had it where you could actually ride it during the day or during the night. I forgot what it was. And they cut the lights on in the building. Who remember that? Anybody ever been in the Flight of Fear with the lights on? I have. It was a little bit more scary. Now I like it with the lights off. I do like the unexpected turns and the loops and stuff and the sharp turns. I like all that. But when they cut the lights on, I can actually see the floor. And I never knew that when you was making them turns and them dips that you was inches away from the floor. I never knew that shit. I don't even know if that ride was meant for the lights to be off, because the true fear is looking like you about to run into the wall and come down in the dip and run into the floor. But with the lights off, you can't even see that. I emailed the park one day and I said, keep the lights off on the Flight of Fear. That's the dopest ride I ever rode in my life. It brought me closer to my children. All right, y'all, let's move on. Let's move on. I really don't have many topics. I got one topic today. I'm probably going to, I don't know. Isn't it like on my schedule to say I'm probably going to piss off a few people today? You didn't expect me to say anything different than that, did you? Oh, for those haters who got a problem with me buying Kroger brand grape and orange soda, I bust out the Coca-Cola today if it matters to you. Since I'm cheap and all this old shit, fine. I love the fact that you think I'm cheap and all that. I got Coca-Cola in my cup now. Feel better? Spending my money? I told you I drink hood soda. I drink orange and grape. I grew up on orange and grape soda, and I'm not going to divert from it. It's what I do. I still eat bologna sandwiches. My first name has my bologna has a first name, and I still eat peanut butter and jelly. Now, if you want to keep giving these steak places and all that lazine and all that old shit your money, fine. I choose to do other shit with my money. I don't have to eat I don't have to have those high price foods and things of that nature. Don't have to have it. Now I'm speaking for me. My wife on some different shit when it comes to that type of stuff. She like her seafood. She loves shrimp. She love crab legs and all that. She love all that shit. I don't eat it because when I lived in New Orleans, I actually watched how people make that shit. Like when you go to the crab places or Mitchell's and all them, what's that? There's a McConnell Mitchell's or some shit like that in Cincinnati. It's a unbelievable, really nice steak and seafood place. Very good food. But you can't watch them fix the food. I lived in New Orleans, y'all. I went to school in New Orleans. I spent a lot of time in New Orleans. One of my best friends still lives in New Orleans. And I watched McCormick's. Thank you, Mary Myers. I watched I just gonna sound bad, but I watched Vietnamese guys and girls, children, get crabs, craw with them shrimps and shit out of the damn out of the banks. I seen that shit. And then you go to the market and you buy all this shit live. Like living. The seafood is living. I mean, that's as fresh as it's gonna get, right? I get it. Fresh seafood tastes better. I don't know. I don't eat it. But the shit was live. Look, I wouldn't eat Popeye's chicken if I watched the chicken come in the store and then they put the motherfucker in the fryer. I couldn't eat it. I wouldn't be able to eat it. I couldn't eat a hamburger if I seen the cow in the back and they slaughtered him, and I wouldn't be able to eat the shit because I just seen him alive. I'd feel different. So living in New Orleans, I watched them fix everything from gumbo to live crab. And here's the thing. I grew up a dangerous kid. I grew up a dangerous kid. We unfortunately, when you grow up and you don't have a lot of toys, outside becomes your playground. So in law homes, we would find cats and throw rocks at them, throw rocks at dogs and wait for it to chase us and all that. We were kind of brutal to animals a little bit. We use them as entertainment. Don't leave your dog outside. We just did shit when we seen stray dogs or whatever. We would pick with them. So I was big on messing with animals. So when I moved to New Orleans as a kid, my mom would go get this fresh seafood. And I mean, literally, I would watch these kids in certain areas go get these nets and catch what do they call that shit? Not shrimp, but those what do they call those things? Those little gray things. Somebody put it in there. Not crab legs, of course, but somebody will put it up there. I will watch them catch these things and sell them by the pound. Sell them by the pound. And I would watch them also bring in. See, New Orleans is right on the coast, so you can get fresh seafood. They would bring crab legs. You would go to the market downtown or in what we call there the jungle, because that's when they sold live everything, octopus and all that old shit. I'm like, this is crazy. They call me country boy. I ain't seen this much country in my life. You can buy crabs all and they're live, and you take them home. You take you a cooler with ice and you buy your shit at the market. Put live crawfish and all that shit in your bucket, crabs and everything. Take it home, boil your water, I'm trying to remember this, I was fairly young, put seasoning in the water, put corn on the cob, put all your peppers and everything in the water, boil it, open your cooler and drop this live shit in the water. I thought I was cruel to animals. But this is what I don't understand. Now, this is just me. I'm from the bricks. I'm a city guy. I'm a city slicker. I'm just being honest. I thought that was some crazy shit to open your cooler with fish and shit that's alive and drop them in hot boiling water and then eat the shit. I thought that was crazy. And I mean, New Orleans crushed that type of shit. My mama crushed that type of shit. And me, when I first got there and seen it, I thought it was a game. I didn't even know. I gotta rewind. I didn't know the first time that they brought that shit home that they was gonna cook it and eat it, because I was, I wasn't that young, but I was in the 8th grade, and I'm like, this got to be the type of games that I would have played when I was a child if I had my own house and I had my own stove. So what I used to do, and I'm not proud of this now, being my age. I'm not proud, but I would sometimes take one of the crab things and let him catch on the little stick with his clamper things. I let him catch it, and then I pick his ass up and hold him over the water. I tortured him. Like, I don't know what was in me. I set curtains and shit on fire when I was a kid. I had some issues. I would put him over the water and let him feel the steam coming up. I probably was I don't know, man. I could have been a monster. And I would hold his ass over the water and stick half his body in and bring it out. My mama would slap the shit out of me. We got to eat that shit. I just thought it was a game. So I just put him over there, and then I drop him in. And then you can hear the crabs, and mostly crabs, when you drop them in the water, you can actually hear them go, eat. And then I just was like, I can't do this shit for real. It became torture, and then they would just throw it. You know what I'm saying? That's how they cook it. And in New Orleans, and here go the thing. You put the shit in the pot, let all of them burn in there and cook. And then they take the hot thing off, let it sit for however long for the shit to cool down. And then they do this. This is more barbaric than all other shit to me. Some of my New Orleans friends and people know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, that karma already hit me years ago. Trust me. Then they let the shit cool down just enough where it won't burn them. They take the big ass pot, and I'm talking about these big pots, deep, long, deep dish pots. Lift it up off the stove, take the shit outside to a picnic table or an outside table, and dump the shit on the table, and all of the fish and all that shit, and the corn, the potatoes, everything that you mixed in there, it's all cooked. The juice from it was the most countryest shit I've ever seen in my life. They pour it on the table, and the gumbo, the shit just goes everywhere, and everybody digs in and start eating. I'm from Cincinnati, bro. I don't know shit about this. I don't know how to do it. I ain't never caught nothing and ate it in my life. Never. I've never caught anything in my life and ate it. So being from, like actually being a city slicker, being a city dude, that shit blew my mind. It really did. And I thought, like, damn, man, you from where I'm from? Fuck, who the fuck brainwashed you to do this shit? She said, Rand, she used to call me, Rand, you gotta try this. You gotta try these crabs. It's the same shit they was eating if they went to a restaurant. So I understood. But I'm asking myself as a young kid, is that the process at the restaurant? Do they do that same shit? Is that how they fix these crab legs and stuff? But they don't. They do, but they don't. They don't quite do it like New Orleans do it. The one thing you're gonna do if you ever live in New Orleans is you're gonna love living there, and then you can't wait to leave. New Orleans is only a vacation spot. I spent 4 Mardi Gras of my life there. The first 2 was exciting. The last 2, I wasn't feeling it. I was ready. I was trying to do something else. I went to LSU and circled back to New Orleans. This was later in my life. The first 2, I was there. Then the second 2, I went back when I went off to school. And I'm going to tell you something. I have never seen people eat so crazy except in New Orleans. Last thing on it, they do have this one thing that I do know how to make. It's called pecan candy. It's called pecan candy. I got the recipe of making it. I lived for that candy in New Orleans. If anybody ever knows, if you know what pecan candy, they don't say pecan, they say pecan. Pecan candy. It's nothing but sugar and pecans, syrup, and it's deadly. It's great. It melts in your mouth. And everybody in New Orleans who lives in New Orleans, they all know how to fix it. They all know how to fix it. The only reason why I loved it is because it was super sweet and it didn't have no animals in it. I swear they pick shit up off the ground there. Oh, my New Orleans people. Cherie Gibson, I'm sorry, sweetie. She lives in New Orleans. She's from New Orleans. And she's back in New Orleans doing TV and stuff. My bad, sis, for hitting New Orleans on that. But I'm just being honest. I think they eat roadkill. I swear they pick shit up off the ground and go fix it. I'm just saying. All right, so let's get started. I want to do this because I got to go. I went a whole hour right now talking about nothing but Kings Island and roadkill. I got a question for everybody. This is my topic. Do you guys know what's going on in Memphis, Tennessee right now? Does anybody know what's going on with the Memphis police department? Does anybody see that? Anybody seen it? Good evening, Kevin B. Tracy Dillingham, what's good? Christy Wingert, what's happening? I probably missed some people. Hold on, let me see if I can get some people back on. Tracy Dillingham, Kevin B, Christy, Brenda Harris, Jason Dockery. I know y'all there. I seen y'all earlier, but some people just now chiming in to us. Let me just tell you what's happening. How about I show you a video of what's happening instead of me talking, because I'm a little upset. And of course, I know I am going to. What's up, Pros? P-R-O-S-E, Pros? Regular listener, but I can't break the name down. Y'all know I butcher names. I'm sorry about that, Pros. Is it pros? I think it's prize. Break it down in syllables if you can, brother, and I'll get it. I promise you. Or sister, I'm sorry. Put it down in syllables and then put bro or sis. That let me know, you know, what I'm dealing with, who I'm talking to. Let me see. Who was it? It's Memphis, right? Memphis police. All right. I am going to pro, see legal term. Okay. I'll just call you pro. What I'm going to do, I'm trying to pull this up real fast, and I'm gonna put number 1 up. All right. What I'm gonna do is show you this video. Well, I got dogs now. I got a dog now too, Kevin B. He said he's gonna make sure he put his dog up. But you don't have to worry about that shit now. Bro, I've had that shit hit me long time. I've had several dogs since New Orleans, personal dogs. But yeah, I got you. Quick thing. This situation in Memphis, Tennessee is crazy to me. All right. I've been trying to tell people, my sister Tracy Dillingham said that I keep a schedule. Yes, I keep a schedule of what I say. And I also stand on what I say. And here is another instance of what I've been trying to tell people. And that is police brutality is an equal opportunity ass beating. It don't matter what color you are. And it don't matter what color the police are. The only time it matters is when massive media wants certain people to think of it a certain way. I got an issue with a whole lot of this shit that's going on in Memphis. But more importantly, it's not more importantly, but just as importantly, I want to try to get a point across to you of why this is some bullshit to me. Why I don't hear everybody talking about it the same way they did in the Derek Chauvin case. The same way that was George Floyd situation with Derek Chauvin, the Rodney King situation. Why aren't motherfuckers out like protesting and tearing shit up about this one? I'm not going to take away from what the police did, but I am going to take away from the people who was out doing the most because of what cops did. So let me try to understand this. Maybe I should play the video before I get to my point, because it's important that you know what's going on here before I can't make a point and you don't really know what happened. Some don't know what happened. So I'm going to play the video, and then I'm going to give my take, and I'm willing to take a phone call. I'm willing to entertain any of the comments on the screen. Y'all will know where I'm coming from. Some will get my point of view. Look, look, just for the record, I'm not advocating for Memphis Police Department for this bullshit. Not even close. But I'm going to make a point that we got to pay attention to everything. We can't have selective protesting, it only matter when certain people do it. It should matter when everybody do. If you suffering from something, you have to show the same energy no matter who's bringing the pain. And if you're not doing that, it waters down the whole argument and the point. So I'm going to let y'all watch this and you tell me what you think. Here we go.
In Memphis, Tennessee, the family of Tyree Nichols was shown the police body cam footage of his January 7th traffic stop. Nichols died from his injuries 3 days later. On Monday was the first time the family and their lawyers saw the video. Nichols' mother could only watch part of the deadly confrontation between Memphis police and her son.
Oh my God.
Not only was it violent, it was savage.
Oh my God.
Last Friday, 5 of the officers involved were fired. All had been on the force between 5 and 2.5 years. In a statement, Memphis police said, "We have determined that 5 MPD officers violated multiple department policies, including excessive use of force, duty to intervene, and duty to render aid."
Okay. I have another video. That was just a small little 50-second video of local Memphis news. Okay. 50 seconds. 50 seconds is what they gave it locally. Anybody doing the math? 50 seconds is the attention that story got. Somebody explain to me how 5 police officers can beat one man and get a 50-second story locally about abusing him. Here's the thing, and I don't want to hear nobody say, "Look, y'all know me. I'm the type of dude that'll be like, well, cause and effect, all that." I'm a reasonable individual, but here's what happened: the police pulled this young man over, and he ran. But when they caught him, they beat the shit out of him. I can't stand on that. I can't stand for that. Here, I can't go. That's a no-go. What did he do from a traffic stop? I don't care if he had warrants for his arrest. I don't even care if he's a murderer. If he's supposed to be, I'm not putting this on him. If he had a warrant for his arrest, and the warrant was a warrant for suspicion of murder, you are not the jury. You're not the executor, Mr. Police Officer. That young man deserves to be in a room of his peers, to be the judge and the jury, right? The 12, they call it. You can't beat his ass because he ran. They beat him so bad. Hold on. He died 3 days later in the hospital. This was him in the hospital. He ran. Now, y'all know I'm the type of dude that'll be like, damn, bro, why you run? Yeah, I would say that. I would say that, and I would say that to him as well. But it still does not deserve this. This young man was a skateboarder. He had plenty life to live. Okay, maybe he did something wrong. I don't know. I don't know why people run from the police. I don't know what's going through their mind. I don't know. Let's just say this. It's fair to say this. If the police pull me over, I have no reason to run, but I also have no reason to think that they would do that to me. Now, where this young man may have grown up, what he may have witnessed in life, and I'm a guy, my best friend in New Orleans, I was in the 8th grade, Don Franklin, shot and killed by a police officer. We were together that night. Y'all know my story on that. But I still don't fear police officers. So I still wouldn't run. But that's not the point here. Maybe these brothers are running because they face this type of fear. I can't argue that. Now, I used to have a little different position of, well, why the fuck did you run? Stop running. If you're doing shit that's sending you to jail and you don't want to go do the jail time, the only way that you can go overcome the jail time is just not commit whatever crimes that you're doing. That's fair to say. That's a fair, legitimate argument from anybody, right? But it's also fair to say that when police officers abuse power, that they deserve whatever punishment comes to them. And in this particular case, they abused their power so badly that the 5 police officers who I have right here, these 5 police officers were all fired and will be indicted if they haven't been indicted already. I believe the article. I'm going to play another story. These 5 police officers fired and indicted. Charges of murder. They beat that man for about 3 minutes. What did that man, he was unarmed. What did that man do to deserve to be beat by 5. And look at them. Show me one of them that look like they 160 pounds wet. These guys look physical. They look fit. And they don't look like they need to be beating up somebody to get them to get in the car. 3 of those dudes could get somebody in the car. But they beat the shit out of him to the point where the boy's mother, well, you know, y'all know I'm the type of individual that want to see some things and hear some things before I pass judgment. The fact that this young man died because he got beat up. The other thing that I'm looking at here is they won't release the body cam. They let the family and the family's attorneys see the body cam. That's what you're seeing in that last tape, that videotape of the mother. She just couldn't take it. But if you look at somebody, I'm looking at this picture of how this young man was beat up. Eyes closed. There had to be something going on with some trauma internally because they have a defibrillator. They have a ventilator on him. This is truly abuse. No fucking doubt about it. And this is what I tell people. The police, I respect everything they do, but those 5 police officers were bad police officers. I support police officers. They have an unbelievable hard job to do. But what I don't support is the abuse. You think just because you ran that they deserve to get their ass beat? You think that? Now, I can retract my statements if I find out something that this young man did and they're not reporting it. They're not showing it. But I'm looking at the body of an abuse of someone that got beat to death. And then they've already done an internal investigation to the point where they felt like these guys can get fired based on abuse of power, abuse of position. They abused it. Now it's time for me to get in my one zone. I'm going to play this other video. Let me cue it up. I'm going to play this other video here, and then I'm going to give you some of the shit that I'm truly mad about this case, because some of you didn't even know about it. Now, did you? I'm wondering why you didn't know. The local media gave it a 50-second story, 50-second time spot. The national media is giving it the same thing. Has CNN ran it? I'm just curious. I didn't get any of my clips from CNN. Let me ask you, where my chaos agents at? I know I got a few here, even the ones that standing in the back of the room. You're trying to act like you trying to act like you don't watch the show. I ain't talking about our Wyatt Live family. I'm talking about the people that don't actually tune in. They kind of sit in the back of the room, don't click in, don't show no love. They only speak when I say some shit that they don't like. And then they make me out to be the bad guy from my perspective on a topic. But they don't watch. Now, where my CNN people and my MSNBC people? Why aren't y'all going super dope crazy on this shit when a young black man in Memphis, Tennessee dies and got beat up by the police? Where y'all at? The only reason why Crump is there because it's a payday. But that's your normal, that's your normal guy. Why isn't there more attention on this? Isn't this the moment that you lived for? Isn't this exactly what you've been saying about America? Isn't this exactly what you say about black men in America with these white ass police officers who are racist? Isn't this it? Is this not fitting your narrative? Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me see. Oh shit, I made a mistake. They're black police officers. My bad. Maybe that's why this isn't getting the coverage. and getting the same, passing the same narrative of policing. Now, y'all know I'm an equal opportunity. I give it to everybody. And I told you, I ain't never said that there's no such thing as police brutality. But when y'all send me little nasty ass DMs thinking I'm supporting the police, I'm telling you that I support good cops, not bad ones. I know better than you do. I don't care. Call me a Mr. Know-it-all, call me whatever you want. I've been in this world, I've been in this criminal world. I deal with criminals. Do you? I ain't say, are you a criminal? I say, do you deal with criminals? I've been in this world dealing with criminals for 20 years, almost 20 years of my life. It'll be 20 at the end of 2023. My entire life. And I didn't see white ones and black ones, Latinos, everybody get their ass beat. There ain't no such thing as police brutality only on black people. It ain't no such thing as police brutality and it's only white cops. It ain't no such thing of that. So why is it that CNN and all these other mainstream medias gas your ass up when a white cop do something bad to us? Can you say George Soros pay a lot of money? Can you say Antifa and all them guys gang up to get us gaslit for us to go burn up shit, break shit up, talk about the injustice of black people in America? Wait a minute. What would make 5 black police officers do this? Did they wake up this morning? Because y'all know that's the same shit that y'all say. Them white boys had on confetti flags under their shirts, and they probably said they was going to kill them a nigga today. I'm trying to figure out if these 5 police officers said the same thing. I know it's hard to watch. I know I'm probably hard to listen to today. But this is a moment that we all need to let sink in. And the reason why we need to let this moment sink in is because we got to figure out why people do that. Why is it more important when a white person, a white cop, shoot and kill or beat? This is no different than Rodney King. But Rodney King survived. And y'all they gave way, that was in 1990, 91. And they watched they watched Compton burn, Crenshaw burn, LA burn. This is no different than George Floyd. This is worse. These officers beat this man. This is worse than George Floyd. I know, Wyatt, you done lost your motherfucking mind saying that shit. Ain't nothing worse than George Floyd. Yes, it is. You're looking at it. I don't see the outrage. What I see here is local people, don't get it twisted. The family in Memphis is handling it. The people in Memphis is handling it. Just like Breonna Taylor. That shit was going on for months before the mainstream media start covering it. And then here come your normal vultures, your culture vultures. Here come Al Sharpton. Here come Benjamin Crump latching on to this shit when it start building up traction. Oh, yeah, shit, it's time. Hey, they flying down on private jets uninvited. What was that little kid's name up in Cleveland? Tamar Rice or something like that? The one whose mama is mad at Benjamin Crump for setting him up with setting the family up with all these people she didn't know. She told the truth about him. I ain't gonna make this about him. I'm gonna stick to the topic. But they're part of what I'm trying to tell you. They're part of pushing a certain narrative. Tamar Rice's mama is one of them. I think it was Tamar Rice. His mama came forward and said, Benjamin Crump, he lined me up with these people talking about they was going to give me this money to do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. He wasn't even my lawyer. He ain't had nothing to do with it. Ain't nobody called him to come down here for this. He's not even the lawyer on this. The only reason why he attached himself to this Memphis case, the white dude is his lawyer. I'm about to play the video. But Benjamin Crump is a culture vulture. And the lawyers that are now attached to this case know to let him be seen because it add extra zeros to the situation. My colleagues ain't gonna like me saying that, but it's the truth. So where's the outrage? Why isn't it being played on your local radio, your radio, your TVs and podcasts? Why isn't it the big thing? This is worse than George Floyd to me. Five cops beat him up, killed him. I can tell you one thing that I personally think, and I could be wrong here, and I may have to backtrack. I may have to say I apologize. But I can tell you one thing that I've seen a pattern of, and that is this. If the cops had legitimate reason to beat him up, number one, they wouldn't be fired right now. Number two, the video would already be seen. You understand what I'm saying to you? Y'all know that same shit happened in Detroit. Chief Craig. They released the video because they didn't want Detroiters to burn Detroit down when they shot that kid. It was a legitimate shooting and killing of that young man because he shot at the police. They ended him. And Chief Craig released the video within hours because Detroit was downtown ready to tear it up. So there's two things that set the pattern of there was wrongdoing by the police in this matter. And that's the fact that these officers have been fired, not on desk duty with pay. They've been released. They have a union as well, and I don't know if the union's fighting for them. So there must be some foul play here. Number two, they haven't released the video, the body cam. That troubles me. That sets a precedent that something's going on here that they're wrong for. And they're going to go on trial. I already know. From my understanding, I believe they've been indicted. But what I'm trying to understand from my chaos agents, my people, we all got a heart for what just happened to this young man. Y'all got to admit it. The shit is bad. It looks bad. It smells bad. It feels bad. But where is all of the shit that we've been watching when white cops do this to us? See, this is no different to me than if we got black criminals killing black people in our neighborhoods and it don't get any attention. We just hear about the bodies dropping, the count of the shootings in Chicago. We hear about it, but it don't get the same attention. This fits in that same category. Lack of media coverage. Now, y'all know, let's be honest. Let's be real. I'm bringing this to light for a reason. Because when I say that the media is blowing these things up and blowing them out of proportion, I sound insensitive. But I'm giving you a perfect example as it sits right directly in our face. And that is selective marketing of bullshit. This is a bad case. This case is just as bad as Rodney King to me. It's just as bad as Rodney King. They burned up the world for that. It's damn near, until I get some more information, it's possibly just as bad as George Floyd. But the difference is this. All those cops involved in the killing of the black man were white cops. The white face they can put on the screen and get us all riled up. See, that's bullshit to me because I'm just as riled up as a black cop killing us as a white cop killing us. And I don't see the same energy coming from the people that stood up and made the most noise. The only reason why Benjamin Crump ass is down there is because that's what he get paid to do. But you ain't gonna hear that same speech that came out of his mouth when he was in Louisville You're not going to hear the same speech when he was in Cleveland. He can't stand up and say the black community is under attack by white police officers. They can't say that. And I told you a year ago, they don't really believe that shit. They say it so you will cheer. Yeah. Fuck them cops. Yeah. No. I can prove to you that they don't believe that. I can prove to you that nor Benjamin Crump nor Al Sharpton believes that we are being attacked as black people by white police officers. How I know? How you know that, Wyatt? Because Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton work together and they have picked up white clients. They have picked up white clients that are what, Wyatt? Police brutality clients. And let me tell you something. The reason why they have done that is because it's more money in the white guys. Well, why is that, Wyatt? You think they more valuable than us? No. Because they get abused more than us. Y'all don't want to face that. But all you got to do is watch Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton follow the money. I might make $10 million off of this case right here as a civil case lawyer. I might make 10 million. They may make a $10 million settlement with the city, like Breonna Taylor. But that's only gonna come every so often. But I can make 2s and 3s and 4s off all these white people that's being beat up by the police, and I can do 10 of those in 6 months. Those cases are more valuable to them. They don't make as much per case, but the caseload is triple, quadruple. Pimps. Pimps. Don't believe me if you don't want to. Just do the numbers. I'm a math guy. Just do the numbers. I just need my people to stay on a straight and narrow and understand where I'm coming from. This is not a knock on my chaos agents. This is just a prime example. Look, we all can be chaos agents together, but I don't want to be the type of chaos agents that's biased. I don't want to just be defending something that's a mirage. That don't make sense to me. That makes no sense. I'm puzzled. I'm puzzled that there's not an outcry or a roar. Look, do I want people to go out and burn shit up? No. I don't think they should have did it during Rodney King. I don't think they should have done it during George Floyd. I think all that is wrong because only people that get hurt is us in that nature. You lose your small businesses, you lose a lot. People don't want to do business with you anymore. You lose a lot. What's up, Rodney King? Good to see you, brother. That's Jesse. What's up, Jonathan Swoop? That's my brother-in-law, married to my sister, my blood sister. We all get hurt when we riot and do all that out-of-hand shit. Nobody wins. But where's the energy for this young man? Look, come on. I got to put it up again. Here's the young man. I don't know what he did. I don't even care. It doesn't justify this. And you telling me 5 police officers had to whoop his ass like that, and 3 days later, with him being on a ventilator and things of that nature, those are internal injuries. Look, please understand. Internal injuries. This man got his ass beat like he was already in penitentiary. That's a thug beating. That's a thug ass beating. And I don't see the same energy. And I'm gonna give you a local situation. Make this one make sense. What happened in Cincinnati? Now, this might be a stretch. Y'all might be like, oh, you didn't went too far, Wyatt. But I gotta tell the truth. 2 years ago, black young man was selling drugs in Cincinnati up on Coleraine Avenue. he was selling to an undercover, to a narc. The police try to stop him. He run. He run down Pippin and go over by that old La Rosa's that's down that way. He gets into a situation where he's faced off with this cop. They get into a little tussle-fussle, and the cop admittedly shot him by accident in the stomach. The guy dies. The cop said he accidentally shot him, and the young man dies. We didn't really hear shit about it in the city of Cincinnati. Y'all know why. Y'all know why. Because it was a fucking black cop that shot that young man. I've been making this point since Wyatt Live has been around. And that is the only time black people care, and I shouldn't say this because y'all know what I mean. We care. But I'm saying the only time you make it a big deal is when a white man kills us. An Asian man kill us, or anybody outside of what we look like. If they put hands on us, everybody want to act like you killed a family member. When a black cop does it, oh yeah, they just crooked cops. It was never because he shot him because he was black. Let me ask y'all something. Let me just go back to the root of it. By the show of hands, who believe that the only reason why this young man got his ass beat is because he was black? I mean, because we got to circle it. We got to visit it. We got to figure out what would make police officers want to beat him to the point where they would squeeze life out of him. I'm just curious. Can somebody be honest and real and say, hey, yes, I believe the only reason why they beat him up is because he was black? Because that's exactly, you wouldn't hesitate. That's exactly what you would have said if these 5 police officers were white police officers. You would be all over white-black issues. It would never be class issues, classification issues. The only reason why white people put their hands on us when they're in a place of authority, such as a police officer, a guard, all that old shit, is because we black. But what do you say when black police officers do the same garbage to us? Is it because we're black? Or is it there a sense of empowerment? And don't tell me, look, I could tell a few of these brothers hoop at the gym and go play ball with brothers. I can tell, I'm sorry, I'm a judge of character sometimes and I might be wrong. But you know what? Nothing says, you know what I'm saying? You know, you can look at some people and be like, oh yeah, dude, cool. They're not cool. They're not cool for their actions. Not by far are they cool. But y'all know for a fact if these was 5 white police officers, y'all would be calling everybody to the forefront. It would be headline news all day, every day for the next few days on CNN, MSNBC, and all of the regular news blackcasters. They'd bring in extra people, extra black faces to go down in Memphis, stand outside the courthouse, wait for the indictments. They would bring so much coverage on this that it would keep everybody angry. We should just be angry because. But when they start playing the narratives of this is white supremacy, is this white supremacy right here? Is this white supremacy? This white supremacy? Did white supremacy do this? Yeah, I know what some people are going to say because I know how some agents think. Some agents think that these 5 black police officers have been trained to be hitmen for the white supremacy group. You really think that? You really think that they have a class in the academy? And I'm not trying to be facetious, nor am I trying to be funny, but do you really think that they have a class in the academy that makes black officers racist against black people? Those same 5 black police officers could have whooped a white man's ass because that young man is in a certain classification. He's in a certain location. He probably, chances are, I am totally assuming that he had a warrant. The only reason why I'm thinking that, assuming that, and my apologies to his family if he does not, but the only reason why I'm assuming he has a warrant is because he ran. Not too many people run from the police if they have no reason to run from the police. And if I'm not mistaken, most of us feel a little bit more comfortable if we're detained or stopped by a black police officer. Most of us do. I know I do. That's an honest answer. That's me being honest. I'm not afraid of any of the police, whether, a white, black, Chinese, Asian, or whatever. I'm not afraid of any of them. But there's a different feel if a black police officer come check me, come, pull me over or something. I do have a different sense of comfort. That's just me. But I ain't never gonna run from one. The only time I ran from the police, y'all know, the only time I ran from the police is when I was guilty of something. That's it. Yeah, me and my partner, Don Franklin, who was shot by the police, we ran. But we didn't run. I ran. We was guilty of something. God blessed me that night. I took a left. Don took a right. That was the last time I ever seen him alive. They said my friend had a gun on him. Don carried a gun, but he only carried a gun because he was from down the way in New Orleans. And them brothers, if you know anything about how it is in the ward, if you in that life, you gotta pack, you gotta carry your gun. But where we were at, Don didn't have no gun. He didn't need a gun. He didn't have no gun. Police said he had a gun. They shot him. Killed him. And that bothered me. But I'm not afraid of the police, and I don't think all police officers do what they did to my friend. I don't think all police officers do what this Memphis 5 just did. I don't think that all police officers do what these 5 police officers did. I don't think all police officers do what Chauvin did. And I don't think these 5 represent police officers. I don't think Chauvin, who killed George Floyd, represents police officers. But if you let your local media get a hold of how this shit is going, our black community is suffering due to police officers like what you see right now. I just don't believe it. And how I can prove it is you just watch the actions of the local media. You ain't hearing it. How many times did Channel 5, Channel 9, Channel 12, and Channel 19 in Cincinnati, how often did they talk about George Floyd? That shit was on regular rotation now, wasn't it? The funeral was on nationwide. 5 funerals. Stars sat in the front row that never knew this dude. Ludacris, few comedians. This was the biggest clout chasing opportunity for people that's so far away from the cause, it's ridiculous. I'm going to ask my community this, my people that look like me. Will you stand up and ask for the same life sentence or death that you wished on that Chauvin dude? Are you going to ask for that for these 5 police officers? Are you going to watch their trial on court TV? Like you watched the case with the Rittenhouse kid that killed a white boy that killed a white boy at a Black Lives Matter. You gonna put that same energy that you put into that situation into this one? I doubt it, because the narratives have not been shoved down your throat. It hasn't been pushed on you by CNN, MSNBC, and massive media. It hasn't been pushed to you, and we're not victims the same way we are when a white police officer do this same thing. This is just another Rodney King, but this young man died. They showed Rodney King everywhere in the nation get his ass beat. I'm going to see how many Black Lives Matter signs go down Reading Road in Cincinnati, standing up, yelling, "No justice, no peace," until these 5 police officers get sentenced. I guarantee you there will be no rioting across the country because of what these 5 police officers did. It won't be. And the reason why it won't be is because it hasn't been pushed down your throat to happen. Let it have been 5 white police officers. See, that's America for you. You see how they do? Black people. Let LeBron James said anything about this one? LeBron James, he made a comment yet? LeBron James said that any one of these 5 are next. Y'all know that's what he said about the white police officer that shot the girl up in Columbus before he had all the information. He said, there we are getting hunted again. He's next. Nobody gave a shit about Breonna Taylor until the media came in and gave it the twist that it needed for all of us to be all up in arms. What I'm basically trying to tell you is this. I'm not giving any police officer a pass, whether they're white or black. They're all wrong that do this type of stuff. It's not a pass I'm trying to get you to understand. I'm not trying to justify this. I'm not even calling anybody wrong when it comes to us. I'm talking about why is certain attention brought when certain people do us wrong. We're being done wrong both ways. But I'm trying to understand, why is it such a major focus of division when white people do something to us? It's just like the crime that go on. It's just like the crime. We okay, like we just nod our head when we hear about a shooting in Chicago, when there's 13 people shot and killed in Chicago over the weekend. We just be like, damn, they wilding out in Chicago. We don't give it the same energy. We don't give it the same Cincinnati energy. If 13 people was killed in the weekend in Cincinnati, how would the energy would be on 10? People would be like, oh shit, I ain't going outside next shit. I ain't going outside until they slow this shit down. Let what happened on Main Street, 9 people get shot. Let that be a regular thing in the city of Cincinnati every weekend. Let that type of behavior be a regular thing and watch how the energy change. Y'all would bitch and complain every weekend. But since it only happened one time and the media didn't spin it the way they needed to spin it, and let's be real, there were people that was blaming the police officers for shooting back in that case on Main Street. They didn't have to shoot through the crowd like that. Wait a minute. You mean the people that returned the fire shouldn't have been shooting back? The people that was trying to de-escalate the situation, get the person that didn't mind shooting in a crowd of 500 people, you mean they shouldn't have shot back at him? You have people on podcasts and radio literally trying to blame the police in that case. And then they turned it on the prosecutor. It was about everybody other than the 2 knuckleheads that was down there shooting. You mad at the prosecutor because you say the prosecutor should have never said, we're going to give them 200 years if we can. That wasn't your baby that got shot down there. That wasn't your child that got shot in the back of the arm, in the shoulder, or in the leg, or in the back. That wasn't your child. Because if my child would have got shot down there, I would have said the same thing your mayor said. Well, we have faith in our prosecutor, and we can't have this type of behavior in the city of Cincinnati. And yes, we're going to try to get this settled and give them the maximum time that we can, because we can't have people like this on our streets. I didn't hear anybody say anything different. When Joe Dieters, who ain't here, who ain't in Cincinnati no more, when he said that shit, everybody had a fucking cow. Everybody had a baby because they hate his racist ass. But when your mayor, the Asian mayor, all due respect to him, says the same thing or agrees with him, y'all didn't give him no peace. Y'all didn't give him no peace of mind. You didn't give a shit. Oh, that was smooth how he said it. Yeah, you know, they got to calm that stuff down. Can't have that type of stuff. But when the white dudes say it, who's in charge of sending people to jail, who's the prosecutor, now everybody lose their fucking mind. You know why? Because you hear how much of a racist, ain't no good ass person. You got people promoting that. So he took the focus away of the real problem. Joe Dieters or any prosecutor they bring in here is not the problem when you got people shooting in crowds of 500 and don't have a problem with 9 people getting shot innocently. The prosecutor should be the last person you talking about. But that was the main focus on the people that like to blame and distract from the real issues. That ain't all of us, but we know because we heard them. We heard them. And I'm the only one that stand up and keep the shit 100 when it come to that. I ain't like too much for that, but that's okay. Somebody got to do it. I don't respect people that gaslight situations for their own benefit. That's why I don't have any respect for Benjamin Crump. Because that man will not say, he will not have the same speech that he'll have when he talk. He is not going to say the same thing when it come down to describing that incident in Memphis about these 5 officers. He will not bring race up. He'll only bring the real issue, and that is police brutality. He'll only talk about police brutality. He won't say police officers are hunting black men out here. He won't say that. He ain't going to bring that up. That ain't going to be the argument. He's going to argue police brutality and we need to make sure this type of behavior. He's going to talk about the real of the issue. But if this would have been 5 white police officers, Benjamin Crump got a script of he has a script and he has, listen, he has a speech ready. He has a speech ready for them situations. And what I'm trying to tell you is it's a classification thing. It's a class thing. It's a class thing. People with power do people wrong or abuse people who may not have as much power or not have the resources to fight the power. And I'm telling you from experience of having clients, these cops don't care what color you are. It's more of what classification you're from. And if you don't believe me, that means you ain't out here enough. Your algorithms on your phone or your or on your laptop or on your iPad or whatever you use to look at shit on YouTube and pull up videos, your algorithms are pushing you in one direction and it's not telling you the truth in this world. It's not telling you the truth, and that's by design. That's by design. I want to play this one last video for you, then I got to bounce, man. I got shit to do. My apologies, man. I just get worked up on this because this is what I get called a coon for, and now I got something right here. This is called a receipt. This is exactly what I've been trying to tell folks. I know everybody don't agree with me, and I appreciate those that are being kind and not necessarily making this an argumentative situation. This is definitely a platform of opinion. Okay? So I appreciate everyone that's here who may differ with me, I can appreciate your approach. I can appreciate your opinion, and I appreciate you listening to me rant and rave, and not necessarily, you might be cussing me out, but I'm okay with people that cuss me out with the pillow over their face. I think that's fair. You don't have to agree with what I say. Just respect what I say, and I'll respect your point of view too. But I am going to ask everybody, reach out and touch Chaos's hand. Ask them where they at. Ask them why they don't have the same energy. If this was Shavik or the guys from Rodney King and all, I just need to know why they don't, why aren't they, why is not them? I'm not blaming the media, the people that gas us and light us up, feed us, and keep it in your face. Where is what's his name? George Soros. Where is his money at now? Where is George Soros' money at now? What is he going to invest in the argument here now? Is Antifa about to go down to Memphis and blow shit up, tear shit up? Is that the move, George Soros? How are you going to spin this type of situation and make it look like we're oppressed and deprived and the police department is racist when you got 5 police officers that just did this young man like that? No, don't it look like what it really is? Police brutality. They kicked the young man's ass because dirty cops do that. If these were 5 white cops, it would be way more than that. And George Soros would be investing money. Get the U-Hauls ready. I'm sending y'all a check. Let's get the signs up and going. Get your gallons of milk, your black book bags, and your black gear, because we about to go tear up Memphis. We about to get the Negroes up and hyped. Here's the $175,000 it's going to take. I want hotel bills paid, just like he did last week in Atlanta. Just like he did in Atlanta last week. You brought in people that don't even live in Atlanta to fight the police. These 5 or 6 people got arrested, and not one of them is a resident of Atlanta. But you got them throwing bricks and writing shit on walls and spray painting, cops this and cops that. The same way you brought your people to Cincinnati when the Black Lives Movement marches was going on and all the protests, and you had all the white people of Antifa in your groups paid to destroy my city of Cincinnati, to throw bricks in black-owned coffee shops, to throw bricks into my establishment, which is black-owned. Why would we do that? Why would we do that? It wasn't us. It wasn't us. I seen sisters out there stopping white boys from spray painting on the side of buildings saying, look, we don't do that. They sitting there spray painting BLM, fucking shit up, burning dumpsters. You ain't even from here. I gave y'all an assignment. I said, go look at the misdemeanors, all the people that were arrested on those misdemeanors, whether it was curfew violations or trespass, and then there was some other charges that they caught people doing that was vandalism. Look at all those municipal court cases and look at those people. Majority of them were from somewhere else. They wasn't even from Cincinnati. I wonder how the hell they got here and stayed here for 3 nights of protests in Cincinnati. Why did it matter to them to come to Cincinnati? Who had the budget for that? How do protesters, young ones like that, support that situation, support that program? It has to be financed. Some of us know exactly where that money come from. It's the same money that support prosecutors that run who want to be light on crime. It's the same guy who writes the check to make sure that these people can be voted in office and make it make sense that these folks are supposed to be out on the street. They make it make sense that overpopulating jails and over prosecuting crimes, they make it make sense. They also the ones that make it make sense that prosecutors that keep our streets right are racist. They don't, and here go the crazy thing. I just don't see the same crimes happening that happen in the inner city or happen in our communities, happen in the suburbs. Every once in a while, yeah, you're going to get some crime. You're going to get a man that killed his wife and children and all that old shit. That happens every few years. But let's think about it. If you're in Hamilton County, in Cincinnati, Ohio, if there's a murder, does it not happen majority in in our communities? Isn't it generally in the black communities that these murders are happening? This is not me making up numbers. I'm just being honest. So why would we want to be so loose on crime when the majority of the crime that's hurting us is happening to us in these particular communities? Why would we want people to loosen up the crime, the restrictions? No, Daryl Carpenter, it's not. That was not a shot at Fanon Rucker. I wanted Fanon Rucker to be the prosecutor. Don't do that. Don't bring that energy over here, bro. This ain't no black on black. I ain't doing that shit to them. I already know how you play. I ain't on that shit, bro. That wasn't no shot at Fanon Rucker. Fanon Rucker, I rock with him. I just had a problem with his bail situation. I promoted Fanon Rucker. I asked the public and my listeners to vote for him. I can't really say vote for him, but I pushed him because he had the balls to come over here and answer questions. I didn't give him no softballs. And I agreed with 90% of what he said, and 10% was that shit about the bonding situation. That's it. Now you take that shit over there to Lincoln unaware. Don't bring that shit over here. We real shit over here. That's my mans and them. Fanon Rucker and we get along, and I always promote him. Take that shit on somewhere else, one of them chaos agent networks. We over here, we about talking that real shit. You called me a coon on one of their shows. That's cool. I'm a coon for you right now. Hey, bro, don't do that shit. There they go. There they go with that shit. I never let it go. Don't think because I'm playing nice. Don't think because I'm playing nice that I don't know a motherfucker that really play behind my back a certain way. I told you I ain't no soft-ass target, B. Anytime you want to bring your heroes from the radio or podcast, anytime you want to bring them in, let them speak for you man to man with me on a podcast and watch how I tear them apart. Anytime. Anytime. Because the difference with me is the receipts. The history is the receipt. It's as long as a Kroger receipt. Anytime you want to bring these guys that keep you entertained against a guy that will educate you, we will win every time. As long as you don't put pom-poms and a dress on and do cheers and shit, that means you're not listening. You watching. You're not really keeping score. You just cheering for your team even when you're 30 points down. That's what cheerleaders do. I'm out this bitch, man. I'm going to play this video right here and y'all take it for where y'all want to take it.
Unreleased body cam footage from Memphis, Tennessee reportedly shows appalling footage of police beating a man during a traffic stop. It happened on January 7th when Tyree Nichols was pulled over and then allegedly tried to run from police. Viewers of the body cam footage say he was beaten by officers for 3 minutes. Nichols' family attorney saw the footage today.
He was defenseless the entire time. He was a human pinata for those police officers.
Nichols died in the hospital days later. All 5 officers involved in the incident, who are also African American, have been fired from the Memphis Police Department.
You heard the attorney say that the kid, he's probably half my age, so I feel safe to say the kid, that he was unarmed and defenseless. These 5 police officers got fired. There was foul play. They have a union that'll keep them on the desk with pay. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. So that tells me they have a strong case that not even the union can defend these 5 police officers on. The union can't even save them. What does that tell you? The body cam hasn't come out yet. If there was any defense for these 5 police officers in what they did, the body camera would be out. The body cam would be out right now. I promise you. It would already be out trying to keep everybody calm. But the reason why it's not out yet is because it's not getting enough attention to force exposure of the situation. That's what that's telling me. That's what it's telling me. And we're not forcing it. I guarantee you, if this was 5 white police officers, everybody would be going to the normal thing. Where's the body cam? We want to see it. People will be out in the streets until they got it. Now, Memphis is. But that's supposed to be. That's normal. Memphis has ties to this young man. He probably known from some high schoolers and some people he went to school with. He might be a DJ in a club. I don't know. People in Memphis know the kid and they know the situation. More importantly, they probably know one or all 5 of these police officers. That's why they out there. They probably know what these cops have been doing. They probably have an idea. So of course they're going to be out in the streets with the signs and say no justice, no peace. But where are all of the people who did it when the white cops was doing it? Where are they at? Just asking. Where are they? Don't really mean that much to you. It hurt, but it's not the same now, is it? It's not the same. That's what I got a problem with. I almost have a problem with that as high as I do what the police officers have done. It almost numbs me like what the police did. Folks, I appreciate you listening to me today, but this was, in my eyes, a receipt of what I've been trying to say, and that is, if a white police officer do something to us, it's not necessarily because he's white and we're black. It's sometimes, most of the time, classism, just like everything else in this world. And when I say that white people get beat up by the cops too, that's not me downplaying what's happening to us. I'm trying to tell you that it's an equal opportunity ass beating. But the only time that they want to push the race thing is because there's a hidden agenda. There is an agenda out here to keep, listen, I'm going to say this for the very last time. I'm probably going to say it again one day. In the boxing game, in the fight game, one of the things you have to do is get into your competitor's head. Some fighters take a mental edge on their competitor on their opposition by making them angry. If I can make this motherfucker mad, I'm living in his head rent free. If I can make these folks mad at something, then I can control them. You do know that, right? If you can, the hero of an angry person is the person that can give them something to calm them down. You ever seen two people fight on the street and the person that can come in and calm the aggressor down? That's the one that the person who was angry respects the most. They respect the man that, or the woman that can come in and calm that person down. They'll look at him and be like, man, yeah, my bad. Shit, that motherfucker, I had to beat his ass. But the one, the cousin, the uncle, whoever come in and calm the aggressor down usually has a trust with that person. So if I'm looking at the manipulation game, the person that makes us the angriest and who can come in and deliver and calm you back down, that's the one you look at and never see them coming. That's the one who gonna get you in this manipulation game. The CNNs and all them who keep you on go when it's time to go because of what they did to us. I don't see the same energy from them networks at pushing the agenda of black people being done wrong. They'll say the police beat this man to death. They'll say that. But it's like anything else. They're going to wrap it in the packaging that they want it to be presented to you in. They're going to try to they're going to sell it to you like, yeah, police are bad. Yeah, this should have never happened. They're not going to have that same baritone voice. Yeah, you know, this shouldn't have happened. And, you know, the police did this and the cops got fired and blah, blah, blah. And yeah. But they're not going to leave you with that backdoor entrance of making it a race issue. Because they can't push that agenda this time. If they can't do it now, what makes them be able to do it when it's white cops? Because it's an easy play. And we already know if you make them black folks mad, all you got to do is make them mad and angry and get them out there rioting, and we can get our way. We can get our way. It's sickening. And I hate to see my people go down that path. I hate to see us fall for this bullshit. And I see it in politics all day long. I sit back and watch a man who tell you that gun violence in America is ridiculous. I hear you, like them shootings out in California. Your president can't come out, and if he say anything about guns, the gun violence in America is ridiculous. If he come out and say anything opposing gun violence, opposing illegal guns, if he come out and say anything opposed to handling weapons and guns being in the wrong people's hands and illegal guns on the street, he know he really can't. But for his constituents, the people that he talked to, he can get away with this shit. But it's clear as day to me that you, Mr. President, can't say nothing about guns being on the street. You just released an arms dealer. So let me get this straight. You think because this man, the merchant of death, has ties with Russia selling bombs and AK-47s, weapons, and you think because he sell that shit throughout international that those guns that he sell to the cartels don't end up in the streets of America? You can't think that. You can't think that they don't. But our president released an arms dealer for a basketball player. Now, that sound like I'm hating on some shit like, well, she got out, you know, yeah. It's like, wait a minute, hold on though. You released an arms dealer who flooded our nation with weapons. Make that make sense. And for y'all that don't know, there's another man over it. If you go to my Facebook page, I'm going to post it after the show. There's another man, a white man over in Russia right now that got detained at that same airport, who's been in Russia on a 14-year sentence for having marijuana, medical marijuana in his bag, and Russia kept him, gave him 14 years. Y'all ain't heard about him, have you? Nobody give a shit. He didn't get him. He didn't even put him in the package deal. That was the biggest move I've ever seen of I got y'all, or I gotta bust a move. I gotta make it seem like I care. I gotta make it look like I'm doing something for somebody that got, LGBTQ and black girl and a woman, LGBTQ and black. Triple crown. I can't lose with this, except I got common sense, Mr. President. And my common sense tells me it's a contradiction of everything you've said about fighting gun violence in America. This man don't sell cap guns. He sells those high-powered weapons that you say need to be banned. Illegally, he sells them. They get in the streets of the United States of America through drug cartels. And you got people patting him on the back like he just bust a move. That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And people are just sitting there saying that I'm a hater because my approach or my thinking of why would you make a trade like that? It ain't nothing personal. It's not personal about Brittany Griner. And the people that don't watch the show, for some ungodly reason, they found a way to say something on my post. I didn't put up happy shit, sad shit, congratulations shit. I didn't put up all these posts. And all of a sudden, here come the chaos agents telling me to sit the fuck down because I'm a misogynist of black women, and Malcolm X was right. Malcolm X said that black women are disrespected more than anyone in this country. And then they go as far as to say, and black men lead the way at that. I challenged anybody that feels that way about me. I'll challenge, what have you done for the community? Anytime you want to bring out receipt books, I'll sit mine next to yours. If you have one. If you have one, I'll sit mine next to yours. And if you beat me, fair and square. And what I'm saying, the receipts are, what are you doing for your community? What are you doing for people that look like you? I got mine. I can show you. Anytime you're ready. But to sit back and say I need to sit my ass down, no, my ass been standing up a long time. I've been standing up for what I believe in and standing up for my people and standing up and cutting checks and doing things for my community for a long time now. What have you been doing? What have you been doing? Reading a couple of the comments. Let me see here. I might have to go back a little bit. Six, 5. Well, like I said, I appreciate everybody who came in, who made a comment. And who, who supports me. I appreciate the support. I appreciate anyone that'll come in and listen to me, and even the ones that disagree. I think that we learn by listening. I think we learn by getting other people's point of view. And hopefully I kind of, brought something to the table, and you picked up on something. Maybe you still believe that that I just don't know any better, or maybe I don't know. I really don't know. But for you to be here, I truly appreciate it. I want to say thank you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 o'clock. That's my time. I'll holler at you.
Yeah, you don't want this problem. Yeah, it's whatever you want. You see that Benz ride slow, that's me on the hunt. I'm a jerk, might creep with your girl in the front. Just so you know, this ain't the problem you want. Yeah, boy, don't even front. Real recognize real, so I know you a chump. You can tell them boys you roll with whatever you want, but you know, and I know, this ain't the problem you want. When I stepped in the game, all I had was my name. When I leave, I'll be good long as I got the same. No, I can't take it with me, so I'm burning this change. You don't wanna go to war, boy, stay in your lane. I'm the real thing, me and my dudes still bang. Down since day one, and yes, we still hang. I don't be all online, don't at me, boy. Got a couple new whips, and I call them my toys. I'm a grown man, dealing with foolish behavior. I'm trying to savor all the fruits of my labor. I grind heavy, and you clowns is not ready. When it rains, it pours, feel like we broke the levee. We're nothing alike, I want a night, you trying to make her your wife. I buy whatever and don't look at the price. We don't date the same women, no, wear the same shoes. You're not on my level, don't get it confused, boy. Yeah, it's whatever you want. You see that Benz ride slow, that's me on the hunt. I'm a jerk, might creep with your girl in the front. Just so you know, this ain't the problem you want. Yeah, boy, don't even front. Real recognize real, so I know you a chump. You can tell them boys you roll with whatever you want, but you know, and I know, this ain't the problem you want. And so it begins, all these haters wanna be friends. Everybody cut the vapors, now they seeing me win. Seeing me grin, watching me shine. Trips to Milan, chilling in the cut with a couple of dimes. I'm young, flying, flashy, still in my prime. Stop tripping, it's simply my time. I'm here by divine intervention. Did I mention, these are not goons, they're my henchmen. Ladies love me, I'm creep squad, don't judge me. I wink at your chick, you in the corner trying to mug me. I get it, you spending money and you all committed. I come through in that navy blue Yankee fitted. And all the girls get to whisper in, he can get it. Relax dog, that ain't even what I'm on. I'm sipping with my hitters, chilling in my zone. Think twice before you start some funk, this ain't the problem you want. Nah, this ain't the problem you want. Yeah, it's whatever you want. You see that Benz ride slow, that's me on the hunt. I'm a jerk, might creep with your girl in the front. Just so you know, this ain't the problem you want. Yeah, boy, don't even front. Real recognize real, so I know you a chump. You can tell them boys you roll with whatever you want, but you know, and I know, this ain't the problem you want. Yeah, this ain't the problem you want, boy. I mean, you might want to think twice before you come this way, player. So me and my dudes is ready. I mean, we ready for war anytime. We could do this for your turf and my turf. I mean, yeah, it's whatever you want. You see that Benz ride slow, that's me on the hunt. I'm a jerk, might creep with your girl in